Hey guys, this is Superzines for Noble Desktop, and in this tutorial I'm going to show you common mistakes in After Effects and how to fix them. So we're just going to be listing out a bunch of common issues designers face in After Effects and quick fixes for them. We have timestamps listed below in the description so you could jump around to see what we cover. The project I'm using here is one I made for our social media accounts. You could find us on Instagram and TikTok under Noble Desktop. But yeah, this guy's going to be our little guinea pig or chihuahua for today, as it were.
This is part one of a two-part series, so we'll link below the second part whenever that one comes out.
So, number one, you've got disappearing layers. You're playing your animation, you see it moving, but you're like, where is my stuff? So head down here to the layer stack and make sure that your visibility icon, this little eyeball here, is turned on. And if some boxes are empty, you want to hit them to turn on whatever effect you've got going. There we go, now he's yipping again. So sometimes After Effects will do this weird thing where it'll wiggle your keyframes even though you didn't put down a keyframe in between. And if that ever happens, because it's a bug, I can't really replicate it over here, but you want to select your keyframes, right click on any selected keyframe, go over to keyframe interpolation, and make sure that temporal interpolation is set to linear, and then just hit OK. And that should resolve the problem. Alright, common mistake number 3. So let's say you've got this graphic over here and you're like, I want to animate this. And you know that if you're animating, as soon as you move your keyframes, as soon as you move your object, After Effects is going to set down a keyframe for you automatically. So let's say I'm like, okay, great, over here, on the 13 frames in, I want this word over here to be, I'm going to just move it up to the top right. And then I'm like, okay, great, 2 seconds in, I'm going to move it down all the way over here. It's going to be great. It's going to slide all the way down. I'm going to hit my preview, and it stays in place. And you're like, what gives? I just animated it. Now, what you're going to want to do is head down to wherever you have this layer in the layer stack and open up whatever property that you want to be animating. And you're like, where are all my keyframes? Here's the thing. You probably forgot to set that first keyframe, because After Effects is only going to start animating this stuff for you, like putting down those keyframes automatically, if you've already set a keyframe. Now I've got a keyframe down here, I hit that stopwatch, I move my playhead over here down to 2 seconds, I'm going to move it somewhere else. Now you can already see that we're getting Bezier handle, motion path. So now we play it and it moves. Alright, common mistake number 3. So let's say we've got a new shape layer here, right? By going up to layer, new shape layer, and I'm like, great. I want to create a mask with this new shape layer. I'm going to make this really cool special mask. I don't know, maybe I'm going to isolate this little chihuahua's head. And what I'm going to be doing, I hit pen, and then I'm like, great, I'm going to start drawing a box around the chihuahua's head. Okay, I do that. And I'm like, whoa. I don't want a solid shape. I want a mask. So in order to fix that, go over to here in your toolbar. You probably have it positioned up here. I just floated mine now. I just float mine down here. And you want to make sure that this button is hit. Tool create masks. Now check it out. I draw. Bam. See? Now it's a mask. And I've actually masked that initial shape that I made. Vice versa, if you find that you're creating a mask and you want a shape, make sure you hit this button. Tool create shape. Alright, the next one happens to me all the time. So let's say you have an already applied mask. There's actually one around here, around all the yips. And you're like, okay, I want to change the shape of this thing. You go to click on it and you're like, where are my anchor points? How come I can't change it or anything? First off, you want to make sure that you're able to access the Bezier handles. I know it's a little hard to see because they are pink. Let me zoom in for you. You can see it over there. So make sure you're grabbing these guys in order to manipulate it. But if those aren't appearing, make sure that on your composition, I'm going to hit M for my masks. Now once you've done that, you can see all these options down here for your mask, and you'll see that when I'm manipulating these Bezier handles here of my mask, I'm actually just clicking over here on the title of my layer, just the name, and it's selecting Mask 1. I'm not selecting any of these other options. I don't have anything else selected. I usually am just here, I'll show you from the top. I'm just clicking on the Yips Comp 3, that's the name of my layer, and then I could change the Bezier handles. But if you got anything else selected on the layer, like if you're selecting position or time or anything else, or feather or opacity, then it's probably going to mess up and you're going to move the entire layer around.
So yeah, that's part one of this two-part series on common mistakes in After Effects and how to fix them. If you are working on any projects, let us know in the comments. If you have any suggestions for future tutorials, we would Love to hear them. And yeah, this has been Sapir Designs from Noble Desktop.